Don't eat fruit. It's got too much sugar. It's gonna kill you. Welcome, everybody. Talking all things fruit, fasting, healing, spirituality. Man, I get this comment almost every day. Fruit has too much sugar. Oh, it's really gonna hurt you. Oh, it's just not good for humans and blah, blah, blah. We're gonna talk all about it and really get into this subject. I swear, people, when I make these posts, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and it's like I get so much, negativity, to be honest. Just something as simple as fruit, right? Like the most common food on the planet in my mind, and yet here we are in such a world of chaos and confusion. So it's just entertaining for me at the end of the day. So I'm here to kind of debunk a lot of that stuff. This is what I love to do. There are so many people that are just confused when it comes to their diet, and we really need to address this. So let's do it. Aloha, helpful earth. Thanks for being here. Guys, join the chat room. It's all alive. Yep, Rock is on it right there. Glucose and fructose. Dun dun dun. We need to talk about this because fruit is really important, and in my mind, we need to get past like the word calorie, and get into words like biophotons, phytonutrients, antioxidants, right? Start thinking about things on the cellular level. What's affecting our mitochondria? What's affecting the living cells that are in our body? What are we doing to feed that? So it is very important to just understand what it's like to be, quote unquote vegan, right? All these labels that we have for each other. And, for me, at the end of the day, it just comes down to fruit. It just comes down to eating the most high vibrational food that we have access to. No judgments here. We're all doing our best. It's not like, you need to live a certain label or only eat fruit or only eat this or that. I just want to debunk a lot of things and really get down to the bottom of this. This is a really big discussion right now. I feel like so many people are kind of confused with these diets and fads that are happening in the regular, mainstream. And to be honest with you, higher consciousness comes from fruit, comes from eating what we would call a sattvic diet in yoga, and that comes from purifying food. Sattvic just means pure. We need pure foods, and fruit is definitely on the top of that list. Seasonal, ripe, organic fruit. So it's not rocket science here, people. It's not. It's something that we all need. It's so interesting. Like I said, I get this comment almost every day when I make a post about fruit, talking about fructose, talking about healing. And for me, what I want to bring to the table is, the spiritual components, talking about what we don't see with our two physical eyes, right? This energy, this prana, this high vibration we're getting from fruit, the foods we eat. Everyone has a toxic load, as I like to call it, a toxic load. And we need to understand that we need to address that toxic load and what we would call detoxing in order to experience that high vibration. And in my fruit is just the easiest way to do it. I mean, you can, talking about fasting, sola, starving yourself bad, unhealthy. Yeah, there's so many different things when it comes to that. Holly, welcome. Chug-a-lug Doug, welcome Francis, welcome everybody. Glad to see some familiar faces and names in the chat room. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. I really appreciate your support. I really want to just shine the light, baby. Come on, we got to really be the example here and talk about real magic that is in the fruit. That's a big reason why I moved here to Hawaii, why I want to be access to this amazing fruit that is available to us. We are just playing the game right now. We are just living the life, like domino pieces. And we need to understand that we are high vibration. We are spirit soul. This true infinite consciousness is available to us every single day. We need to open up our mind's eye, really get in tune with the real knowledge. And in my opinion, fruit is the best way to do that. Think of it like this. We have the sun storing information. Thank you. Chug-a-lug Doug, you're asking about donations. You can donate anytime. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Doug. Thank you. Appreciate. We need more people like you in the world. Satisfaction therapy. Thank you. Thank you for your kind words, everybody. I'm just reading your comments, checking up. I've heard so much. My parents, I'm on 54-day juice fast, mostly apple and grape. Like you said, seasonal, organic, and ripe. Yes. See, I mean, Francis, you're right there, baby. Welcome. 54 days. That's amazing, brother. Absolutely incredible. This is huge. We need to understand that, that toxic load needs to be addressed, right? That's what we would call detoxing. Simply getting the body into a state that can handle this energy, that can handle this optimal performance, right? We are asking for optimal performance. We're asking about energy, vitality, and that's not going to come when we have such a toxic load. So that's where iridology comes in, understanding the iris, understanding what we have in our temple, and just doing the best that we can, right? We're doing what we have that we got passed on through genetics, and understanding that the real nutrition lies in fruit. It lies in the nature. I mean, at the end of the day, we have to trust nature. A lot of the inspirational doctors, Dr. Sebi, Robert Morse, everybody talks about nature, right? The problem is that we are dependent on chemicals. 100% chemical world we live in, artificial chemical world, right? And it's really stemmed from this belief system that, man is like reinventing the wheel here. Oh, there's some particular, pill you need to take or whatever when it comes to healing. And at the end of the day, nature has our answers. Nature has everything we need at exactly the right time. And that's what fruit is. It is the perfect food for us at the exact time. And if you need to take it to that level, you need to understand that nutrition, that higher performance is locked in those biophotons. It's getting our body filled with light. We are pure light. And the energy is stored in fruit. It's stored in other things, but a lot of people, get confused when it comes to this. I see a lot of things on keto diets and carnivore diets, and a lot of that kind of stuff out there. And it's just like, wow, I can't believe that so many people are under that impression. And it's like so backwards, right? I know a lot of you are already on the fruit bandwagon because you've been following me for a while. Thank you so much for understanding this truth, understanding this very simple concept. But so many people really just need this affirmed in their life. And I know that word sugar, gets tossed around a lot, right? Fructose sugar is the answer. That's the difference here, right? And the other thing we got to have to talk about in this conversation is acid versus alkalinity, right? When you think about sugar, right, that is processed and chemical, man-made, that's falling into the acid category, right? Who's on the alkaline tribe? Who's in my alkaline tribe? That's really where the magic is at. If you really just think about alkalinity and getting the body alkaline, that is really where the magic is. And that's going to answer a lot of the, problems that are happening right now. Alkaline diet. I'm so glad I changed it. Yes. Thank you, Emma. Thank you for being the change. Thank you for doing this. It's something that simple. Everything from nature that is 100% nature, the chemistry in there is pure alkaline. And then we have the other side of chemistry, which is acid. And that is where our problems are coming from. We have 60 billion cells that are producing energy and excreting waste. And we need to get that waste out of the body via the lymphatic system. The acid buildup is what creates all the damage. And fruit, that alkalinity, the high vibe, we need to get that energy through the cells and penetrate that acid and remove it from the body. That's what we're all doing every single day, whether you're conscious of it or not. That's what everybody is doing on planet Earth. I don't care what, diet, whatever you want to call yourself, it doesn't matter. That's what the human body is doing every single day. It's detoxing. There's nothing you can do about it. That's what's kind of funny. It's like, oh, I'm going on this cleanse. I'm doing this. No, you're detoxing every single waking minute. Even when you sleep, you definitely detoxing. The organs are moving. That's where I love the study of Ayurveda and getting into this as a complete cycle out of the 24-hour day, right? For example, the pitta dominant between 10 and 2. That's when the liver is the most active, right? So we need to get the most calories in there, eat as much as we can, really, and get that cycling through the body because the liver is the most active, right? Dr. Sebi is awesome. Alkaline mind. Yes, always. Always having that alkalinity being through our cells, guys. That is so important. Okay. But that's really the simple answer here. This is nothing new. Ayurveda has proved this 5,000 plus years ago. It's only, recent times where we've had such a mass confusion because of the big pharma machine, because of everything that is going on. So many things, so many interpretations is how I would say it, that are happening right now that is creating a lot of our problems. So we need to get past that. We need to join this High Vibe Tribe, join this community, everybody. You guys are on the path already. Let's do this because fruit is the answer. Having access to seasonal, organic, local fruit is always going to be the answer. First time here, glad I know. The alkaline diet is based on a theory that some foods cause your body to produce acid, which is harmful. Yes, 100%. So that's it right there. So over time, that acid goes into what's called acidosis. The body is just in a complete state of acid and it cannot filter anymore. So when you fast, I'm talking about intermittent fasting there, when you're talking about these things, there's so much when it comes to potential when it comes to this. It is non-stop. Like Francis, you're doing a juice cleanse right now. You're fasting 54 days. That is amazing. When you get on liquid diet, when you start really cleansing the body of this, you're going to experience tremendous, waste through mucus that is coming out. I should have weighed all the mucus coming out. Pretty sure it's 2 to 3 pounds. Seriously. Cause the lack of energy. Understand what all the teachers said. Exactly, brother. You're right on it. It's something that we all have the capability to do. So thank you for having the courage to do this. Harley Tin Man is in the house. Aloha. Welcome. Welcome. So happy to have you, Tin Man. So happy to have this community, this High Vibe Tribe here. We are being the change right now because every fruit, every piece of fruit that you eat, everything that you're doing with the fruit, the diet, the cleansing, everything that we're talking about here is purifying your temple. It's allowing this higher consciousness to come in. It's inevitable. That's why I created this. That's why I created this channel, to talk about this stuff. That is really where it's at. And then we can talk about this as far as the different degrees. The standard American, I picked peaches and plums my very first job when I was 14 years old. I know so much about fruit and understanding how we can get access to this because it's not coming from the grocery store. That's the thing, is we got to get to the farms directly. We got to go to the farmer's market. We got to go talk to the people that are growing our food. We got to really get involved, really understand this, as far as what's happening. So, and, it's not about labels either. I don't want to judge anybody. It's not about being fruitarian or having, even a vegan, whatever. It's just, I want to help people. You don't have to be like me. You don't have to do what I do. You just have to understand that the fruit is where it's at. You have to understand that the energy is coming from what we eat. Everything that we do. You are what you eat. Satisfaction therapy. I'm wondering, have you ever met any fruitarians? I have not. I think that they could all teach a lot of us about this subject. Yes. I was a fruitarian for a long time. There's definitely a lot of people out there that are, talking about exactly what I'm talking about right now. So I am not alone. Rob Newman, welcome. Love your videos. I've been raw for a while now. My teeth health is getting better and better, and some oil pulling too. Yeehaw. That's what's up. Awesome. That's great. I'm doing the same boat, brother. Healing so many things from my youth, childhood. Oh my gosh. There are so many things that so much damage that I created in my youth that I'm still healing in my adult life. So that's the other thing, is it takes so long, everybody. This doesn't happen overnight. This detox process is a lifestyle. Once you get your organs back online, once you start filtering, once you start meditating, really getting into this conscious lifestyle, it is a daily practice. This isn't something that just happens overnight and then you're good, This is infinite capabilities, right? This higher awareness with our body, our mind, our infinite consciousness. This is real. Everything that I'm talking about through my experiences, through what I've learned, through fasting, through eating fruit, all of this stuff. It is powerful. So the more you can do, the more you can bring it into your life, the more you're going to experience the benefits as well. That's just how this works. Sandra P, thank you, from Florida. Aloha, welcome. Super happy to have you, everybody here. It's just cool to see so many like-minded individuals, and it makes me feel like this is happening. Like I said, I get this comment every day. Robert, that's got too much sugar. Oh, it's too much fruit. Oh, blah, blah, blah. And you got to understand that that is really where the energy is. And through the assimilation of the body, that's where the alkalinity process happens. You don't need alkaline water. You don't need to drink all this stuff and blah, 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 waste your money on supplements. The fruit is where the magic is, right? Especially seasonal high ripe fruit. A lot of the stuff is unripe because of the grocery store system. Like I was mentioning earlier, I worked, at Whole Foods for a couple of years. I worked at Sprouts. I worked at all the big grocery store chains because I really wanted to learn what is happening with our food system, what is happening with our food, how it's being grown, how it's being sold. Our voting with the dollar is so important. And we live in a world where all of our food is completely contaminated and it's picked unripe. It sits on the store shelf. It has no energy to it. And we wonder why we're all, sick and fat and diabetes and all these things that are happening right now. So this is going to be a kind of a longer process where people get through as far as what is happening. And we are being the change right now as we speak. You're voting with your dollar. You are making this happen. So thank you, everybody who understands this, and we can get it to that next level. That's right. I've been doing it 3 years, whole bottle every day. I've been ignorant. The wave of consciousness is pretty cause of life. Yes, Francis, you're on it, brother. You are on it. Ormus is amazing. Thank you for watching that video. I've been taking it daily now, and it's been incredible. That's the thing, is when we talk about fruit, we have to understand about minerals, right? And the water and the hydration is more hydrating than the water. We have cells that need hydration. So many people are dehydrated. It's like the most common thing. We're not going to get into real optimal performance unless we're hydrated. So that's really where the fruit comes in, having this high energy, having this lifestyle. You got to really understand that it's only coming from a hydrated body and having access to really good quality fruit. So that's really what it's all about. Fruit is the key to life, high energy levels. I'm now growing as much as possible to get that tree ripened fruit. Rob Newman, yes, do it. So cool. I love that. I lived on a citrus farm last year, managed a citrus farm. You can go back in my YouTube channel, watch my old videos. I was living... I've always lived in nature and had some sort of connection to it. But when I was managing the farm, obviously I had so much high quality fruit, and it was absolutely incredible. So the more you can grow your own and have access to that tree ripened fruit, that's really where the magic is, because we're really getting those alkaline, nutrient dense food. Okay. It's going to happen when it's really ripe. And this goes for everything, vegetables, everything. So it's something that we need to understand, that just what we have access to in our modern, grocery store type life is not the best food for us. So thank you for people that get it. And I'm going to keep preaching it because I believe in this stuff. I really do. I believe that we all have access to this, and we just need to take it to that next level. So you understand that fruit is available in all parts of the world. It is the best food for human consumption by far. And we need to balance this out, right? We need to understand that you need to eat fruit that is, makes you feel good, makes you feel passionate. If you like watermelon, eat a bunch of watermelon. If you like bananas, eat a bunch of bananas, make sure they're the good apple bananas with seeds. That's kind of what I wanted to talk about in this video, is like the difference between, the GMO, hybridized, seedless fruit and real alkaline seeded fruit that has all of its chemistry, that has everything that is still intact. So that is really the best way here, is to understand that you can have access to this when you start going to the farmer's market, when you start buying local. That's the game changer right there. And we're all doing our best. Like I said, I'm not here to judge anybody. I just know that the magic comes in when you really start getting that high vibrational food. So take it to that level. Take it to that level. It's something that we all have to do. Juicing grapefruit this morning. Rob Newman, awesome, brother. That's great. Fructose is not the equivalent to sugar, plus fruits have fiber, which enhances digestion. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. Fructose is where it's at, baby. Fructose and the fiber combination. Yes, if you can get both in, is wonderful. That is how nature intended it, right? When we eat that whole fruit, we're digesting the enzymes. They have prebiotics as well. That's where all that fiber is. That's where all the good bacteria lives on that food when we digest and assimilate. Sandra P, you're asking about nuts. The thing about my definition of nuts and seeds and fruits are different than most people. If you look at it in biblical times or just any scripture, it talks about anything that's bearing seed as a fruit. So technically, like cucumbers are a fruit, right? Tomatoes, different things, different, even legumes and other things can be technically termed as a seed versus a legume or whatnot. So nuts, I would do in sparingly, like it just depends, like Brazil nuts, walnuts, all those things are wonderful. The thing with that is we need to soak and sprout them. So they're not easily digested when they're roasted. That's like the most common thing when it comes to nuts. So it's really funny that, like I said, we've gotten so far off from where natural food is and what that even means. So when you're eating your nuts and seeds, just make sure they're sprouted, make sure they're soaked at least, and you're going to get rid of all of those anti-nutrients, and there's a lot of enzymes that are going to be taken away. There's a reason why, you see a nut in nature and it has that shell on it, right? So nature protects it, and then it falls from the tree, the nuts crack, we get under the nut. We just need to take those processes, otherwise we're not going to have the best assimilation. Soaked in what? Just soaked in water. Yes, Holly, you're right. Yep, just soaking them in water overnight will begin the sprouting process. So it's all about sprouted food. You can get a jar, and with a nice little lid on it, and just throw it in there, soak it overnight in the fridge, drain out the water, then blend it up, make your almond milk, make things like that. That's definitely the way to do it. Nowadays, people only want to eat seedless watermelon. It's so hard for me to find seeded watermelon, but finally found it. It was so good. Yep, I'm right there with you, brother. Even here in Hawaii, it's hard to find seeded watermelon, and when I do, it's really expensive. So that's why we're building the retreat center. That's why we're growing our own. You got to really do the change. It's really, really important. Brian, welcome. Welcome. Aloha. Oh, welcome. Happy to have you here. Thank you so much. We're just talking about fruit, man. We're talking about the high vibrational food. You need to have access to seasonal ripe fruit. This is where it is. It's really important to understand that we are really into a change, like a shift that's happening right now. And the food system's being completely controlled and just manipulated into not even food, honestly. Like when we're talking about seedless watermelon a second ago, that is not food. That is something that is completely made by man. And understand that when it's made by man, the chemistry falls onto that acid side. We need to go back into nature, right? Get nature. See, and that's the problem, Chris, exactly. That seeded watermelon, all of this organic food used to be super cheap, and now that's the problem. They're making the really garbage food cheap and making it hard to buy organic for a reason. That's what really ticks me off is loaded. It's just, it's crazy how local, seeded, all this stuff that should be really cheap and readily available is now more expensive than the crappy stuff. And do you think that happened just overnight for no reason? I don't think so. This is a part of the bigger agenda, that's happening. So the more you can get those seeded grapes, those seeded watermelon, everything has to be on point. That is so important. Okay. I think so many people are on this path when it comes to understanding that we need food that has energy. Yoga calls it prana, right? Energy. And it's not going to happen from the lab. It's going to happen from nature. Here in Hawaii, I can actually get foods that are straight from nature, like foraging wild food, right? That's what I'm all about. I used to live in California, a little bit of foraging there. They have some wild grapes and different things, but the real magic, it comes from wild food. In Alaska, I foraged wild blueberries. Oh my gosh, almost every single day. I miss that so much. Here in Hawaii, there's more tropical fruit. I had some guava that's been dropping around like crazy. I picked up some mangoes. There's still some mangoes out there. So it's fun when you get into the jungle and you can really get access to wild food as well. That is really where it's about. That's right. Grow those seeded grapes, Rob, all the way, baby. Seeded all the way. That's it. That's how it is. It's not misleading. I hope you find misleading. I hope you mean mass-produced fruits. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what you're talking about as far as misleading, but it's something that I just want to talk about. Like that comment, like I said, I get it all the time. Don't eat fruit, Robert. Fruit has too much sugar. That's the comment that I get almost every day in everything that I post. So yeah, I'm sorry if that was misleading. It's not clickbait. It's just something that I get. I get that comment all the time because people have the programming that sugar is tied to, bad, which is true. That's, you could say that. At the same time, the fruit and that sugar is completely different. And that's the other thing. Like, for example, when you think about dates, all right, let's talk about that because dates are the most alkaline fruit, right? It's a fruit, and you can use that as a sweetener for pretty much anything. You can find date sugar. You can use dates in your smoothies. You can blah, blah, blah. That stuff is very sweet, almost too sweet for most people. Again, it's digesting and assimilating as alkaline food. The acid is coming from processed foods, starches, a lot of things that, are just not natural as far as the chemistry. So at the end of the day, it is right for you. Chambi, we're on the same page. It's all good. We're on the same page here. What I'm getting at is the real energy is coming from fruit, right? It's coming from this high vibration. Exactly. High in fiber too, right? It's the complete chemistry that we need. Fruit salad. There you go. Satisfaction therapy. That sounds wonderful. That's what I just had some pineapple, a little green smoothie. I'm feeling great. So thank you all for being here, by the way. Shout out to Patreon members. Shout out to everybody in the High Vibe Tribe. Thank you all for being the change. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate your support. Happy Monday to everybody. It's a new week. It's a new way to be alive. And I'm just happy. It's a little windy out there. Beautiful tropical sunny day here in the islands, and I just wanted to say thank you all. Shout out to all the fruit lovers. Shout out to everybody who's on that bandwagon already. I'm making my seeded watermelon sea moss for smoothie for lunch. That's what's up, Brian. Man, that's what's up. I love that sea moss. That's like my favorite combo in the world, and there's still a few watermelons out there left for me, and I'm gonna make that exact smoothie. Throw a little lime juice in there, and it is bomb.com. I love that stuff. What's on my necklace? Oh, this is a amethyst crystal. That's on my necklace. Yep, amethyst crystal. That's what I rock almost every day. Yeah, pretty much every day. This thing hasn't come off in a long time now that I think about it. You got to use crystals to, anchor in that higher consciousness and use crystals for your benefit. Amethyst is amazing, and I love it. Yeah, chia seeds are great too. Throw some chia seeds in there, high fiber. It's going to help get into that digestion, right? It's going to help you clear out that mucoid plaque. It's important to get chia seeds and really get that fiber. So so okay, back to the fruit conversation, because I want to talk about the different tiers, the different levels of what's happened here. When I was picking plums and peaches when I was 14, it was a very small organic farm. Even before the word was organic, they were not spraying, they were not doing anything like that. And then I've seen this transition into, like this organic, and then I've lived on what would be called biodynamic. Who knows about biodynamic farms? Have you ever heard that word? Bio just means life, right? Dynamic. You're growing for the life. You want to enrich in the life force energy. So this is the way of Rudolf Steiner, and he's an amazing, oh my gosh, one of those beings that was just way ahead of his time and really indoctrinated a lot of people into the organic biodynamic food movement, which is huge in California and the Bay Area and other places as well. But what I'm saying is you really got to understand that the soil has changed so much in our, even in our lifetime. So even before that, they've tested this with tomatoes in the can, and they had I think it was 60 to 70% less lycopene than the ones that are grown now. And this is from a can or tomato sitting in a can from like the 1940s. So in just 50 years, we've completely stripped the soil of all its nutrients. And me as a farmer, like I said, I work so hard as far as putting minerals and things back into the soil, ashes, rock phosphate, things that we need to get those minerals and everything back into the land. So that's really where the magic is getting in tune with these different organic growing techniques. Shout out to John Kohler, Growing Your Greens. He's a great resource for anybody that's growing their own food, that's kind of wanting to do it in an urban area especially. It is really, really important to have the minerals in the food, because everything, especially in conventional food system, it has no energy in it, and it's stripped of its minerals, and it's like you're eating just pure acid sugar. So even though it is a piece of fruit, you're still getting acid, again, because it's unripe and it has no minerals because of the soil that it was grown in. So a couple of things I want to talk about, and it's something that, you kind of have to really do your research here and figure out who has the best quality fruit. Talk to the farmers, talk to the people in your area. Really understand that everything that you do comes back to your dollar. What are you voting with? How are you being that change? When you support that local farmer, he's going to be able to grow more food. More people are going to be able to eat it. And it's a win-win, rather than, getting into this big corporate world and eating all this mass-produced fruit. I mean, even here in Hawaii, there's bananas from South America, blah, 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 and they're cheaper, than the local apple bananas. I'm paying like $1.50, more than that, actually. I think I'm paying, $1.99 a pound for, local apple bananas, and the other ones are half the price, So they're doing this on purpose, and we need to fight back by getting local food and supporting that local farmer. So I watch your mucoid plaque videos. Any way we can find out if we have before making the smoothie? Oh, 100% you have mucoid plaque. If that's your question, everybody does. I don't care what you're eating or what you're doing. Everybody has mucoid plaque. So this is something I think you're talking about the detox challenge video. I did that right in the beginning of the year as like a detox challenge for everybody. And it's a recipe that you can take with the psyllium husk, chia seeds. It's just really good for getting rid of that mucoid plaque. That's a great video. So yes, every single person on the planet has mucoid plaque, and it's important to do enemas and getting, a high fiber prebiotic as well into your system to help clear that out. So it's all good. Ask questions, everybody. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here to do. What do you think of only eating the meat you hunt? This is a lifestyle I want to adopt. Whole foods, fruit, veggies, and fish. Winter, I would hunt an animal and only eat the red meat then. I'm a yoga teacher, and I practice ahimsa, so I don't have any violence. Ahimsa means non-violent. So I understand when people talk about, meat that is hunted versus, factory farmed or whatever. At the end of the day, there's still violence and there's still harm, that you're transferring into your human body. So I'm fruit and vegetable all the way. Been that way for over 10 years now. God, it's probably been 11 or 12. No, it's been 11 years. It's hard to keep track of all this stuff. But yes, this is really, I learned this in Alaska. I know a lot of people straight from Alaska who have no idea what cow tastes like. They hunt their own food. They eat moose. They eat caribou. And I'm not going to judge them. I'm not going to go up to Alaska where I love everybody. I love all my Alaska family. And I'm not going to tell them to stop hunting and just grow food and blah, you know what I mean? So we're all doing the best we can based on our programming. When I'm in Alaska, though, I eat salad all year. I don't eat meat and things. So if I lived there year round, I would definitely have a garden and forage more and preserve. And I would, can and have a lot of things in my freezer that were 100% whole food plant-based. It's 100% possible now. We lived in a world, you got to understand that this cycle, this human evolution, through our darkest times, we went to meat, because we had no intelligence. And now we have this higher intelligence that's available to us on planet Earth, and it's simply your choice to tap into it. There's plant-based options pretty much everywhere on the planet, so there's no reason to really kill animals anymore whatsoever. It's just really that simple for me. It's okay. Answer later if you want. Are you an empath? You sounding like one? Yes, definitely an empath. I can make a whole video about that. Definitely want to make more content about empaths. Probably make one later today. Thank you for the inspiration. It's something that I've attuned. That's the highest human emotion is empathy. I tapped into this honestly at a really young age, and it's something that I've been on that path for a long time. So we can talk more about that in a later video. Vitamin D comes from the sun. Jambi, again, getting access to that fruit is going to help you assimilate minerals, nutrients, vitamins. Having access to the sunlight, clean air, clean water. I mean, this is real. This is real. Jacob Locke, welcome, brother. Welcome. NorCal, happy to have you in the house. Shout out to all the fam, everybody. Love you. Love you all. Aloha. Yes, I'm going to do that video. Gonna do it. No problem. A favorite mushroom recipe. I had some ital stew last night, and yes, threw some mushrooms in there. That's probably what it would be, right? It's like a coconut base, curry base, and then throwing in the fresh mushrooms. That's the other thing. That's why I'm, honestly not fruitarian or raw vegan anymore, because you got to think about certain foods. Mushrooms is a good example where you got to, honestly, in my opinion, only eat them cooked. It's something that when you eat raw mushrooms, they're really different and than they are cooked, right? There's different foods that are honestly better for you when they're cooked. Fruit is not one of them, though. Fruit we need to eat 100% raw, no cooking. Honestly, I don't even like blending it if I don't have to. I love just the whole fruit right by itself. I had someone tell me that I was going to die from not having enough vitamin B12. What source should I get that from? Spirulina. Spirulina. I'll spell it out for you. Spirulina. Yes. Oh, spirulina. Boom. That's the best source in my opinion. It is a marine vital. It's called ital soup. It's just vital. Yeah. That's kind of like a Rastafarian word. But yes, Spirulina Holly is what you need. I have a blue Hawaiian Spirulina. Check out some videos. I talked about it in my YouTube channel quite a bit, and it is a blue-green algae that is there, and you can get B12 from that as far as a whole food source without taking a supplement. If you need to take a supplement, go ahead. It's just, I don't do shots or B12. All that stuff is just, completely unnecessary. You need it from the food. You need to get it in a whole food form. So I had a spirulina green smoothie earlier this morning, and it is bomb. What is your opinion on nutritional yeast? Okay, this is where it gets different. I mean, like I said, we want to keep things in the fruit, keep things in the fresh category, right? When you start talking about nutritional yeast and all that stuff, I don't do yeast in my body, and it's because of the blood. I'm purifying my blood. Yeast is, it is what it is. It's basically a, byproduct from something, and we don't want anything that's leavened, especially bread or whatever. You can think about it in biblical times where the bread that they ate 100 years ago is not like the bread that you see on the store shelf today, right? It was unleavened. It was like pita, right? Pita bread versus the like big loaf, soft loafy bread that I grew up with, the white bread. So don't eat any yeast. Don't eat any sort of, yeast whatsoever because of the blood cleanliness. That's really what I'm all about. But on popcorn, oh my God, I know, I hear you. I went through the nutritional yeast so hard for a long, long time, and it's really expensive, and it's just not worth it for me. I'll eat some plant-based cheese. Miyoko's is probably my favorite when it comes to the brand, and because it's using a traditional koji method, and it's legit. So, yeah. That is what it's all about, everybody. And the other thing, okay, back to the fruit conversation, because you have to understand that the sun, right, is pure energy. That is where we're getting our energy from. And that sun is coating fruit. It is, photosynthesis through the leaves of fruit trees, and it's growing this beautiful fruit. And that energy, that photonic energy, those biophotons are in the fruit. This is literally information that is stored within the fruit. You eat that, then that information gets translated into your human body. This doesn't happen with any other food. So the more we can do that and attune to this information, the more we're going to understand what I'm talking about here, because fruit is huge, okay? It is something that I think people need to get in tune with, right? Seasonal, ripe, organic fruit. that is where the magic is. Because when you have that juice, and the thing is, when you can't go back, like once you have that seasonal juicy, you pick it yourself, especially, oh my gosh, you won't want store-bought fruit again. I understand, because I worked at Whole Foods and I've worked at all the big grocery store chains, and it's like green tomatoes, they're picked, they ripen on the shelf, they're sprayed. Even bananas, even organic bananas, all right, are sprayed, they're gassed, they get put on the store shelf, then they ripen up slowly so you can see it and eat it and purchase it there. It doesn't happen on the tree at all. I honestly can't think of one thing that's at the grocery store that is 100% ripe. And then remember that the tree ripened fruit falls into that alkaline category, and if it's not ripe at all, it's still in that subacid group. So you really have to understand that even if it is on the store shelf and it's not ripe, you're still getting acid, you're still creating that acid and perpetuating the problem. So it's huge. CSA Chris, protein is the most overrated nutrient. It seems like everybody's so focused on protein. Yes, we do need it, but not as much as people think. Thank you for saying that, because fruit has protein in it, especially watermelons, things that people wouldn't think that has protein at all, and it does. Trace this back to the nutrient density in breast milk, right? I think it's only 0.9% protein, right? Less than 1% protein in mother's breast milk. And that's kind of our base for growth, how we all grow into, human adult bodies. So if breast milk has less than 1% protein, why would we need more later on? Yes, protein is important and we need it more and less depending on our performance, what we're doing in life, but no, it is not good, and it is creating extra plaque in the body. It's probably the most dense thing that creates that mucoid plaque that we talked about earlier. So it's not good. 100% right. You are so spot on. You guys are hitting the nail on the head right now. How do I grow a banana tree in Washington? I know, right? It's hard. I don't think it's going to happen in Washington. Maybe in Southern California and below. You got to get a little bit lower in the equator. That's why I'm here in the jungle. You have to understand that all human beings started in the tropics, right? And then we moved out to higher and lower elevations based on whatever was happening in the world. So, the fruitarian, Adam and Eve kind of style is all in the jungle. It's all in nature. We slowly ventured out into the north and west hemispheres based on survival mechanisms, finding those mammoth, hunting and doing all of those things, right? This is our original true state. That's where the chemistry is still found, in that beautiful jungle fruit. So it's real. And what's happening now is just marketing. To be honest, it's 100% marketing. It's 100% people getting bought out by, scientists are getting bought out. Everybody's getting bought out to produce these studies to completely fake what is happening. You've already seen it, right? Doctors used to smoke cigarettes and prescribe cigarettes and be like, hey, this is good for you. You should smoke Camels over Marlboro, blah, blah, blah. And obviously cigarettes are bad for you. Everybody knows that now. So it doesn't take long, and before it hits what I like to call the 100th monkey, right? That 100 monkey theory, where it's like you hit that collective consciousness and then we all understand that smoking cigarettes is not good for you. So this is what's happening right now with protein and all of that. That will slowly fade away and people will understand. The only problem is fruit and vegetables will never make money. And, it's so cheap, readily available. It's never going to be this huge money thing. And that's why we're in the predicament that we are in now. So many people are confused because they are associating this, with, oh, it's got to be fancy and money. I'm spending all this money on it and the label looks good and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that's still at the end of the day not going to create, optimal performance. The simple fact is that the fruits and vegetables are the answer. That's really where it is. Yeah, at the end of the day, Jambi, I just disagree. Fish, is not good for you because you have to understand the energy. You have to understand that you're consuming something that is energetically violent. It is energetically, think about that fish that wanted to live. When you kill it, it's anxiety stricken. It's got all this fear coiled up in those muscles, and those are transferring to you. I have nothing to defend here. This is based on my experience, and I can't go back. I used to be the guy that went fishing all the time. I used to do all this stuff that we're talking about here, and it's something that my family still does. I have no judgments, no anything against anybody. I'm just here to spread the light. I'm here to spread the truth. So it's really not important to get defensive about anything, because I'm confident in my path and I have nothing to defend at all. So at the end of the day, it's really important to understand the energy here, right? Body, there's, like I said, all that marketing, all that research about omegas, all that stuff is mumbo jumbo. It is not real. It is complete pseudoscience, has nothing to do with evidence. I don't care what studies you pull out and blah, blah, blah. None of that means anything, because we need to understand this happens from experiential learning, right? Have that experience. Once you get on this high fruit diet, once you start understanding the energy coming from fruit, it is amazing, the perception, the mental clarity, the energy, the vitality that you can have access to. It's not going to happen from any other diet. I'm sorry, it's just not. So there's no way to complicate this. You can get all of those things, including omega-3s, DHA, I don't care what it is, whatever scientific study you want to prove at me, we can get it from a plant-based source, and there's no reason to kill anything anymore. There's no reason to be violent and to have that anxiety and anger and everything, those emotions and testosterone, all that gunk is getting transferred to us. There's no reason to do that anymore. So 1,000 years ago, I would say maybe. Not anymore, though. It's just not important. Good point there, Corbin. Fish also has microplastics in it from the pollution on the planet. It's so sad what we've done to the ocean. And oh my gosh, Fukushima radiation. Fukushima is still happening right now, everybody. There is so much radiation, pollutants, plastics, you name it, going on in the ocean. Why are you going to jeopardize your life with all that? The mercury in the tuna, heavy metals. Oh my gosh, I can go on and on and on. It is so important. Flax seeds. If you really want to get down to the omega-3s, Jambi, it is from flax seeds. I think a lot of other people's problems are weight. 2 years ago, when I needed to lose 30 pounds, the only diet that helped me was keto. Now I would never keto. I was back raw. I've been raw since from see, good. I love that. So that's a great progression, because you're talking about the keto diet. See, that's the thing is, you're going to get these temporary, results from whatever thing that you stop eating, right? Keto involves, stopping grains, sugar, things like that. So yes, you're going to experience that. Even no alcohol. Oh my gosh, in my opinion, so many people are addicted to alcohol. That's what's creating the inflammation, the excess weight, the water weight. And guess what? All of these diets include not taking alcohol. So when you stop drinking alcohol for 30 days, you're going to lose so much weight. Your whole face is going to shrink because of the inflammation that's happening. So it's really, really, it is so important. That's so funny. I just read your comment, satisfaction there. Do not talk against heavy metal. I play thrash metal in a band. That's so funny. That is so funny. Jambi, do you smoke weed? I get that question almost every single day. I got to make a video about it. I got to make like a whole video about it. I don't think I've done that on my channel yet. So it's going to happen. I'm going to do a whole video addressing that subject. So get ready, Jambi. It's going to happen. The monkey is out of the bag. So what I want to talk to you guys about is how we can really get access to this fruit. I mentioned farmers markets earlier. That's what I do. I go to these farms. If I have the time, I love getting out into nature and just foraging. That's the best. That is the best way to get high vibrational food into your system. Not only is it free, but it's available to you anytime. So wherever you live, there's wild food being grown. That's going to be the best, the most nutrient dense food by far, because man wasn't involved. Think about wild blueberries, right? In Alaska, think about this. This is profound. Wild blueberry bushes can completely burn to the ground, nothing left to the eye, and then resprout all the way back up, and then grow blueberries again by next year. Think about that power, right? No man came through and planted a seed. Nobody's watering it, nothing like that. That sheer power, energy, prana in that plant to grow from nothing through the earth and produce a fruit. Then you take that fruit, the berry, and eat it. That is the most powerful food by far. There is no question about it. Nobody can deny that. I don't care what diet you're into, whatever. That doesn't happen to any other food source on the planet. So I think we need to understand that it is everything. It's very important to understand that we need to get access to this high vibrational food. That's it. So when you start eating the fruit, you start cleansing, you start addressing, because those biophotons are coming in. That's what we've proven through science now, that the energy, that the communication that's happening with our cells is light. There is mirror images, mirror photons in our brain that are transmitting this. So what do we need more of? More light, more energy, more prana. That's really what it comes down to. Not to mention, it makes you feel good consciously to not eat animals. Animals have a conscious, for you satisfaction of sustained life. Should eliminate. Yep, beautiful, Corbin. Well said. Shouldn't eliminate life. Yep, I'm right there with you. They're all sentient beings. We do not need to kill them. They want to live. It's so important to understand that. Think about, let's drop all this conversation about calorie and nutrients for a second and just talk about energy. Okay, how do you equate that? There's no graph. There's no meter that you can plug into. There's no nothing that you can understand with energy and prana from food. It's only through your experience. So when you take on this diet, when you start eating the high vibrational foods, you start experiencing the energy. That's the proof in the pudding. I haven't found that through any other food or any other diet or any other combination of the above. So if you have a better solution, then let me know. I'm down. I got an open mind because I've tried everything. And the only thing that I found is fruit and, Ayurveda, getting into specific ways of using spices, getting into Dr. Sebi's teachings through alkalinity, understanding all of these dots, equal optimal performance, connecting all of those dots. It's not going to happen any other way. Sandra P, thank you for being here. Thank you. Much love and blessings to you. Right back at you. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you stopping by. So the fruit that we have access to in the store is not what I'm talking about, though. Okay, so, I just have to keep repeating that, because when you understand that the fruit that sits on the grocery store shelf is still in that acid category, it's not ripe, it's never going to be in its state where you can really get the most out of it, then we need to understand that you need to get back to nature. You need to get to the farmers markets, people that are growing. See, when you pick that piece of fruit that's really ripe, it seriously has hours, days, not weeks, months. So you have to eat it right then to get the energy, right? So that's not going to happen on the grocery store. They can't literally pick all that fruit, put it on a truck, ship it somewhere, have a produce clerk pull it out of the bag, put it on the shelf, blah, blah. Like that takes weeks, if not months. And trust me, I've seen it, and I've done it myself for years of my life. So I'd say 80 to 90% of what you're seeing on the grocery store shelf is completely nutrient deficient, has no energy, and falls into that acid category. So the solution here is to get fruit straight from the farm locally. Okay, you have access to this, especially if you live in California or anywhere where there's a place that has a lot of energy, a lot of sunlight. Okay, Florida, things like that. So growing your own food is the best, 100% the best. So when you grow your own food, obviously you don't have to ask any questions or do anything. And we gotta love animals. Sorry, I got a comment. Jambi, I know, I get it. I get the programming that you're in, brother. It's all good. You're going to realize it one day. It's all good. We're going to be here for you when this happens. So don't worry about it. I often find my vegan activism getting in the way of spirituality. I'm constantly finding myself slipping into more of a lower vibration, fighting for animal rights. I can't seem to find a balance. Natasha, what a great question, or not really question, but statement. And I relate with you 100%. I'm a big activist. I love all of that stuff. the way that we're doing the activism right now is still extremely negative, and I don't want anything to do with it. Showing people graphic images of animals and some things like that, that is not the solution here. For me, I understand when I, through my yoga teacher training back in 2011, becoming a yoga teacher, understanding karma, understanding spirituality, this is not our path when it comes to like making people realize this. It's like going through what I call the vegan police. The first couple of years, I was definitely the vegan police, yelling, screaming at people and telling them that, this is bad for you. You can't eat this. Don't eat the cheeseburger, blah, blah, blah. And that's very negative. So everything comes from within, and all of that energy I began to just circulate onto myself and bring it within myself. And you have to understand that we're all a reflection. So when you're working on yourself and you're purifying yourself, that reflection goes to the outside world and you start seeing what you're putting into. So all of that negativity, all of that stuff, I'm just not a fan of, and it's just not the solution. I believe in nonviolence. I believe in compassion, and that is not compassion. And we need to spread awareness. That's the thing is, I'm all for spreading awareness. We need to expose, factory farming and all the stuff that's happening 100%. So it's very interesting what's happening right now, but it's not the way to do it, in my opinion. It's not the way. I constantly think about the best way to do this, and there are a few people out there that are doing really good when it comes to activism and getting this message across. In my mind, living your best, most authentic life is the way to do it. So it's true. It's true. There's so it's interesting. It's all energy, and you're still absorbing that negativity. So yeah, for me, it was until I got to the temple and started living in an ashram and having a very quote unquote spiritual life, meditating every day, doing yoga every day, having the green smoothies, having the fruit, having all this high vibe tribe around me every single day, where you understand that it's all from within. Everything is happening from within. So yes, Corbin, you're right. It's definitely better to, eat local. But if you have, if that's the grocery store, that's all you have, it's all good. If you have a greenhouse, yeah, it's all good. I'm just talking about the best thing. Exactly, you already mentioned it right there, Corbin, the seedless, right, versus seeded. So you can probably find both right there next to each other in the same bin at your grocery store. Obviously you want to pick the seeded fruit over the seedless and get fruit that's ripe and seasonal too. That's the other thing. Like, there's things that are grown exactly at the right time that are produced for us. When you look at that sticker and it's from Costa Rica or wherever, that's not the food for you. The food is grown right there in your backyard, in your state. That's the food for you, not the stuff that's imported from across the country. That's the kind of the biggest problem I have with the, raw vegan, kind of vegan fruitarian lifestyle that I see a lot of people doing on social media. It's like they're just spending thousands of dollars at Whole Foods and getting all this fruit that is imported and not, that's not local at all. And it's not helping anybody. It's, most of it's grown in Mexico. Most of it's grown out of the country anyway. Those farmers are not getting paid. They don't have really good lives. It is not okay to continue perpetuating that and then calling yourself a raw vegan or whatever just to justify it. Nothing against raw vegans, nothing against fruitarians. I love everybody. I'm just telling you, that's like the majority of what I see out right in the world right now. And at the end of the day, the solution comes, like, I would eat a salad, like in Alaska is a great example. I was living in Alaska. A few times I bought bananas and certain things, and I was like, God, this is stupid. I can't do this anymore. So what did I do? I got on a local CSA, and in Alaska, in the Arctic, the only thing that was growing was fresh greens. That's it. You might get some carrots. I might have got a few potatoes and different vegetables. At the end of the day, I ate so many greens. I had giant bowls of salad every single day, and that is 10 times better for you than going to the store. I had to drive 3 hours to the grocery store as well, living completely off the grid, totally in tune with nature. That's the thing. It's not going to happen when you're doing that any other way, right? Local is better, 100%. And I have another video about that on my channel, but it's basically talking about local versus organic. Local will always be better than organic. So that is something just really needs to, we really need to talk about. So you have to understand that this stuff growing in your backyard, because of those minerals, because of those tap roots that are way deeper into the earth, because the soil hasn't been depleted and yada, that is way better than that banana that's grown in Costa Rica or blah, blah, blah. So we're all doing our best. Ooh, good question. Solo, what is your favorite fruit? Mine's papayas. Definitely papayas. I could eat 50 papayas a day. I could just go to town on some papayas even right now. I love me some papaya. We got a few growing here on the property, and they're ripening very fast. I'm excited. And gosh, yeah, that's probably what I'm going to end up being, is a papaya farmer and have at least a few acres dedicated to papayas, because it is the best. I just love it. Love me some papaya. It is so good, particularly because of my stomach, for me and what I'm healing still from all the damage and things that I've gotten from my youth and the genetics and blah, blah, blah. I'm still healing my gut and stomach and GI tract. So the papaya is definitely the most nutritious, nurturing fruit for my stomach and gut. I just love it. The science is in, everybody. Everybody knows that, right? That the serotonin is produced in your gut, right? So we can talk about that because of fruit. Like, we need to understand that serotonin, the happiness, right? That's the happiness chemical, isn't going to happen unless we have that proper gut bacteria, right? How does this created? Through eating seasonal fruit, through eating high vibrational food. Isola, I mean, I'm 100%. I mean, let's see. I do iridology, so I still have a lot of sulfur and things that are coming through my eye. But yes, definitely 70 to 80% better than where I was, 15 years ago when all of this started. I just turned 31. A lot of this happened in my youth when I was, 12, 13, 14 years old. It got really bad and came to a complete stop when I was about 17, where I was completely diagnosed with irritable bowel syndrome. I've had so many health conditions and predicaments and struggles on the path. That's what's led me to search. Once your heart opens like that through suffering, I mean, I was suffering every single day. That's what keeps you, searching for the truth. And that's how I found Dr. Robert Morris and fruit, and understanding that all this entire system comes from detox and getting through that lymphatic waste. So this is huge. Yes, papaya seeds are great. Great for killing parasites. Anti-parasitic papaya seeds. 100%. I eat a few of them while I'm eating the fresh fruit, and it is amazing. Yes, Corbin, do it, brother. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. So good. When you're having the regeneration from this fruit lifestyle, I mean, it doesn't happen any other way. It's a self-healing mechanism that is dormant in most people, and it needs to be activated through that energy, those biophotons. It's not going to happen any other way. So when you start ingesting high quantities of fruit, you turn that mechanism on. This light is increased. It's like flipping on your iPhone after it's been dead for 10 years. It's like, oh, we have to really understand that it is huge. Yeah, Jamie, Jamie, you got IBS. Yeah. Cut out all meat and dairy, brother. Yeah. Trying to help you, brother. Get rid of, if you got IBS. So many people have IBS, leaky gut, all of these things. It is extremely common. Brian, I want to buy soursop. How would I get that in NorCal? Now, so if you're in NorCal, check out the international markets. I'm not sure. Let's see. No, I forget where you're in Modesto, right? Wherever you are, it's called international markets, or check the Asian markets. They usually have a lot more bigger selection of these international foods. You can get red bananas, you can get burro bananas, you can get soursop, you can get all of this stuff there. Yeah, that's definitely the way to go. It's much better than a regular grocery store. It's a lot cheaper too. So that's right. Red Gang right here. I've been working on vegetarian, only eating meat 2 weeks out of the week. You can feel the difference in your whole body. That's right, baby. That's right. Welcome to the tribe. Yes, you can eat them whole. Eat them whole. That is important. Thoughts on fasting and autophagy? Yes, I mean, it's real. So fasting is very important. It's amazing. You got to understand, even eating only fruit, that's the type of fasting. Fasting is such a big word. I can do an entire live stream on it. I probably will in the future. It is something that is powerful, that I've done myself many times. You have to think about the body, though, and the individual. So I don't like blanket statement anything. I don't like just saying things like, oh, fasting is good for you and blah, blah, blah. So you have to understand it could be damaging to the system based on the individual, or it could be really beneficial to the individual. I don't know. It depends on that one person. For me, I really, understand that we are all doing our best where we are, and it takes a lot of willpower. The thing is, with fasting especially, we can talk about this, is it's tied to our emotions, right? When you start really understanding food and addiction, everything that we do is tied to our emotional cravings. So when you start not eating food, these cravings come up, right? These emotions come up, and you have to deal with them. A lot of people simply don't have the willpower or strength to deal with that. So I think it's essential to take the time out of your life to address these emotions and address these things that have come up. Once you address them, then it's like, cool, then you can go back to your regular, diet, lifestyle, whatever that means for you. So it is very important to understand that you will basically address all of this through the diet that I'm talking about, slowly, sustainably. So that's the thing. I really think that when you do it through a fast or through something kind of short term, it's not going to create sustainable results. We need to think about the long term here. What's the long term vision? How are we going to create this over time where it creates a lifestyle that we can all be high vibe, right? It's what I call the slingshot effect. We've all seen it on social media with Ravana and raw alignment people in the big, YouTuber world. That's exactly what's happened. It's the slingshot effect. They are so programmed that they don't understand the energy and the vitality and how to do this long term through your life. And it creates that slingshot effect where you just, boom, you go right back to these old habits and raw dairy and meat, organ meats, whatever. There's no way around this. Fruits and vegetables are the way to go. And like I said, it's too simple. It's too simple for everybody to wrap their head around. It's like we want to just complicate things and be like, no, that's too easy. You need this. You need omegas and blah, blah, blah. No, stop thinking about it and just eat the fruit. I mean, the people that get it, and there's no going back. It's just funny how we've gotten so confused into all this. So I'm a big fan, and I don't want to judge anybody here. I'm just here for the light and the truth. So it's really important to explain that, and repeat myself. So sorry if this is getting a little repetitive. Thank you for helping other. Oh, thank you, Corbin. Thank you, everybody. You can also dry the seeds and put them in a grinder and use them as a seasoning. Just look up the benefits. That's exactly what I'm doing right now, Corbin. I actually got some drying out, and I'm going to throw them in the pepper grinder and use it as like a salt and pepper shaker. Really good idea. It is so important. Oh my gosh, we're not even going to get started on the whole plants can feel and blah, blah, blah. I just made an Instagram post about this yesterday, and so many people got triggered and talking about how plants have feelings too, blah, blah. Of course they do, but that doesn't mean you have to not eat them and eat animals instead. Oh my gosh, we're not even going to entertain this idea. We're not even going to go there. Fruit is pure energy, and okay, fruit is the only thing that is ahimsa, that is selfless, that is completely, like, I picked up some star fruit off the ground, right? I picked up the guava off the ground over there yesterday. There was a banana rack that just fell through the wind, right? No man was involved. No violence was involved with that process. All I did was walk along and I'd be like, oh, wow, look, there's some fruit on the ground right there. I picked it up off the ground and I washed it and I ate it. Wow. How simple is that? How easy is that to understand that there is no sort of anything. There's no energetic imbalance whatsoever, right? There's no violence. There's no anything. And that's really the only way to live, people, is understanding that fruit is so high vibrational and it's nature just literally giving it to you. It's dropping on the ground saying, pick me up, eat me. That is it. We don't need to complicate this at all. I mean, come on. It is real. It is so real. That's right, baby. That is right. Seeded fruit. This thing is oversimplified, and the Western mind just wants to complicate it. And I'm telling you right now, there is no reason for that. Okay. Uh, it's kind of the opposite. We have to deprogram, really get out of this overstimulated nervous system, this hyper world that we live in, this digital world, right? And it's not going to happen through some creation. Man is only remembering. That's it. We need to remember our true selves. Remember that we are infinite spiritual beings. Remember that food is being literally given to us by nature every single day. So it is crucial that we start awakening up to this truth. Otherwise, we are going to get left in the dark. I mean, that's really the only way I can think about it. Well said there. You don't feel bad eating vegetables and fruits, but animals you do. Exactly. See, animals, you're transferring in that consciousness. I feel the anxiety, all of the fear, all the things that were in my body in the past came from the animals that I was eating. I no longer have anxiety. I no longer have these emotional roller coasters and things because I'm not absorbing that fear through my food. We are pure energy. We are pure vibration. And when you attune to this frequency, when you understand this vibration, you start lighting up. You start getting in tune with it. And you can walk out into nature and see wild animals, and there's no fear. There's nothing there to stop you. There's no limitations. That doesn't happen when you eat animals. When you eat animals, you get very nervous and neurotic, and your breathing is erratic, and because you are those animals, you are what you eat. So fruit at the core base of itself, the tree is still living, right? The tree is living, it's growing, it's going through the seasons, through the winter, the leaves fall, it regrows in the spring. This is such a rejuvenating process. That tree will develop ripe fruits. Those ripe fruits will literally fall off the tree. Man will eat that fruit with seeds, poop out what's left, have some seeds probably still in there, go right back to the earth and grow a new fruit tree. That's the beautiful Garden of Eden, image we all have in our mind's eye as far as the potential here. There is no way to redo that. We don't have to complicate this at all. Whoop, I'm here, brother. All of us children ask our parents, why do we eat animals? I know. So many people, even on the kids, are waking up, right? Even the kids. That's the thing, is that intelligence is real. It is real. Do you think bugs leave you alone when you stop eating animals because the meat decays and the bugs think you have rotten blood, so they want to suck it? Yeah, I mean, it's a big part of it, for sure. It is a big part of it. Like I said, it's all energy. So it's even more than that, because you're attuning to this higher vibration, and the meat eating and stuff keeps you in that lower vibration. It sticks in your abdominal tract for 3 days, by the way. People don't understand that yet, but when you have so much meat, I mean, what was this? John Wayne, right? 50 pounds of undigested food in his digestive tract when he died, right? Most people have 10 to 30 pounds. John Wayne had 50 because he was the meat and taters kind of guy, right? So you have to understand that the insides were so clogged up that it's literally pulling you down. You can't get access to this higher state of consciousness when your colon is so backed up, when your digestive tract is so backed up. It's not going to happen. It is real, people. When you have the high vibrational fruit, when you're getting that ripe, juicy, delicious fruit, it goes right through the system. It's assimilated, it's digested, it's out of there, it's done. That's it. That's it. 3 days, brother. 3 days. Look up mucoid plaque. Look up all the things I'm talking about on Google. Don't take my word for, just look it up yourself, man. I see the plants and fruits as vegetables as a gift from God created for us safe to eat. Yes, beautiful. Well said. I mean, that is definitely the solution here. And you can look it up. I'm not going to get all biblical on you or anything. It's just, this is written about in all scriptures, all religions, all paths, all, traditions of every single color, race on this planet talks about that. Every single one of them. And you have to be in tune with that. I mean, all the teachers, all the mystics, all the gurus talk about this. You need to understand that that is available to us. Every single person has this available to us right now. So do bugs leave me alone? Yeah, they do generally. I still get bitten by mosquitoes or whatever every once in a while, but it's not like it's I don't think you're going to be fully, in this holy orb, until you get to that Christ consciousness, right? That's really what it is. You got to do it solo. You got to do the mucoid plaque thing. I would commit to at least a week. You really got to get your intestines cleaned out. The colon is so important to having the high vibration and mental clarity. When we have this energy, that basically you can think of it like the intestines, small intestines, large intestines, colon has so many nerve endings that are going back to the brain, and a lot of the mental clarity, fogginess and stuff is coming because our GI tracts are not healthy. So leaky gut is the most common thing. The mucoid plaque will get into that wall of the intestines, and the small intestines is where the nutrient assimilation happens. So it's blocked up. You got that tube and it's blocked up. There's like less than 2 inches of room there, and it's getting blocked up, and that tube just gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and then there's nothing to absorb, and that is it. So you really have to get that out. It is so important. And this is a regular practice. I do it every year, kind of more intensely, usually during the seasonal shift, spring equinox, December 21st, going into the winter time, going into the different seasons. That's the best time to do these cleanses, to really kind of target it hard, because you have to get all of the food out. So you have to go on a juice cleanse or something where you can just get all of that food out of your system first, and start targeting this and getting on the high vibrational foods, start doing the mucoid plaque protocol, do the detox, start really getting it out. You'd be surprised what comes out of your body. Oh my gosh, we store everything that is not organic. Everything that is chemical, synthetic based is still inside you. So I'm Vata body type. So it's been, when I was 15, I still have a pair of shorts that I had when I was 15 years old that still fit great. I really, you just have to understand the body types. I'm the Vata body type that's slim and slender, and I'm always going to be that. My entire weight fluctuates from like 130 to 150, depending on what I'm doing. I've worked out a bunch and did a lot of muscle lifting and all that kind of stuff, rock climbing. I have extremely low body fat, probably less than 3% body fat. I haven't gotten my BMI or anything tested in a while, but I'm just telling you, it's all about your body type. So it's not like I'm ever going to be that 200-pound, weightlifter dude, no matter how hard I try. And all of that, to be honest, is just programming. It's programming from our society. It has nothing to do with truth. I'm a yogi. I teach meditation. I'm here for meditation and higher states of consciousness and realizing our true self. I'm not here, I have a six-pack or whatever. That's cool and all. I'm just telling you, that's not what life is about. We have the 4 human conditionings of birth, old age, disease, and death. There's nothing you can do about it. A lot of people are living superficial lives because they want to be pretty their whole time and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's all good. You're very beautiful. I'm attracted to the soul, not this human meat suit. That soul, that infinite light, that cosmic energy, that's what attracts me. That's what really gets me going in life. Not this, shallow, surface value thing that's happening right now. That's right, Red Gang. The government did a good job dumbing people down, and they started from the inside out. Dude, they are working harder every single day. Every single day. You got to understand, this food system is completely manipulated. The air we breathe is toxic. The chemicals in our, laundry detergents and deodorant and commercials about, oh my gosh, if you just watch TV for 5 seconds, it'll be a commercial about some, drug that they're trying to get you on and blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's some serious things happening that are keeping people into that low vibration. It's like, are you going to be the sheep or are you going to be the shepherd? I've said this before. We need to be that shepherd. We need to be the ruler of our intelligence, right? Don't be the sheep. Don't be the sheep going into the corral. Meat and dairy, the entire industry, I don't care if you hunt it or not, it is not for humans. It is keeping you in the lower vibration. You need to access the real food, which is fruit. Everywhere on the planet, even the Arctic, where I was living in Alaska, has wild blueberries, has fruit, has things for humans to consume. I've been there. I've done it all, everybody. I've traveled all over the world. This is something that is so simple. Like I said, it's almost too simple. Man cannot even comprehend it because it's so simple. We're all getting there. We're all waking up. We're all aligning to this truth. It's only a matter of time. It's so important to understand that. Okay, Jambi, you're asking about animals eating animals. You think it's fine because they're not intelligent or aware of emotion, because what about dogs or cats? I think they feel emotion. Of course they feel emotion. That's not what we're talking about here. Animals feel emotions, which you have to understand, this is all in yoga, okay? Animals are tied to a collective consciousness. They have no individual consciousness. A dog doesn't look in the mirror and go, oh, wow, I look good today. I better go do this and blah, blah, blah. That's a higher intelligence that only human beings have, all right? Animals are tied to a collective consciousness, right? They don't have the choice to go through a drive-through and look at a menu and be like, oh, I want this burger and this order of fries and blah. No, they don't have that intelligence. They are literally tied to the cosmic intelligence, this thing that is tied to all animals on planet Earth. And what do humans have? They have both. We have that collective consciousness and we have individual consciousness, right? It's the throat chakra and the higher Anya. That's what separates us. Animals don't have that. Animals have a completely different digestive tract, completely different teeth pattern, completely different pH, blah, 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 blah. So many people in the keto world or whatever defend that, like, oh, you got to be the lion and blah, blah. Like, are you a lion? You're not going to go eat this raw meat and hunt and things like that. Like, that is such a diminishing thing for human beings. We did that back in the caveman days. Are you a caveman anymore? I'm talking to a $500 camera on a laptop in the beautiful Hawaiian islands. Like, we are so ahead of this, prehistoric age, right? We are in the age of Aquarius. This golden age, this beautiful ascension is happening right now on planet Earth. And fruit is the fuel for this. Fruit, nature's food, God's food, high vibrational food. We don't need to slip into that darkness. We don't need to slip into these ways that we were doing in the past. And yes, animals are tied again to this collective consciousness. They don't have access to these questions. They can't ask, oh, should I eat this meat or should I go just get a smoothie today? They can't do that. They wake up. They're just tied to their actions. That's it. Their birth, their karmic process is completely different through a human. And that's why there's different evolutions of the soul. All of us have had a animal birth, many animal births before we incarnated as a human being. That's just how it works. And even before that, we were plants. And before that, we were single-celled organisms and then rocks. These are all energy. These are all living beings. It's a evolutionary scale. So yes, we got to wake up to this. We got to wake up to this. So funny, the comments. You guys are cracking me up. Yes, cats are definitely I love cats so much, and this gets tricky when people start talking about cats and dogs, giving them vegan diets and everything. I don't prescribe to that. If I don't have any pets right now. If I did, they would eat their natural diet, which is meat, and that's probably why I don't have pets right now, because I'm not going to go get them meat. They would be wild. They would be out on the farm hunting their own meat, doing their own thing, because I'm not going to give it to them. So it's silly, guys. It's silly. I know, right? What's up, Sola? You're a Libra. I'm a Taurus. Because I know somebody's going to ask. It's just who I am. We're earth lovers. That's it. The animals that grow from farms and are slaughtered are not happy. So what do you think the frequency energy would do to us when you eat? Oh my gosh. It is so fear. I mean, you're absorbing pure fear, pure anxiety. It is not okay. Red Gang 313. It doesn't matter. I mean, yes, factory farming is worse than hunting and blah, 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 but that is just different levels of justification. It has nothing to do with energy, with performance. You are not going to get it. It's simple as that. Fruit, vegetables, alkaline grains, getting things in your life that is going to create positive energy on the alkaline side of life. That's what we're talking about. That's the magic, okay? There is no way to, there's no way to think about this. There's no other way to really comprehend it. We need access to alkaline food. When you digest meat, acid. Dairy, acid. Man-made food, processed food, acid, acid, acid. Over time, the body gets so toxic. We've all experienced that. When you work out, when you do things, that lactic acid is literally trapped in the muscles that you get all stiff and sore. Getting that lactic acid out of your body through alkalinity, through all of these techniques that I'm talking about. It is real, people. Yeah, Jambi, you need to get on some high vibrational foods. You're talking about IBS, your hair thinning, all these things. Brother, you need, or sister, I think your brother, you need some foods that are going to bring you back into this balance. I can tell you are super toxic, man. Eileen Cass, Robert, do you think that locally grown fruit sprayed with pesticides is better than organic fruit? Oh, man. Good question. I would go for organic at that way. Pesticides is not good. You need to ask those people. That's the thing when you go to the farmer's market, when you start doing this, you can ask them like, hey, was this sprayed and blah, blah, blah. If it's sprayed, I wouldn't consume it no matter where it came from. So you need to really get access to this food that is going to happen when you don't have to question it, right? So that's why I talk to the farmers, talk to the people that are growing their food. What are they using? What are they putting in the soil? What are they doing? What are their practices? You can't do that when you go to the grocery store shelf. Doesn't matter what the produce clerk says or what the manager says. It's just not going to happen from something in the grocery stores. You gotta talk to your farmer. So many people don't know the people that grow their food, right? That's like my biggest passion in life, is going to the farms directly, asking them what's going on. Hey, what are you doing for this? What are you doing for that? And obviously the next step above that would be growing the food yourself. Here in New Jersey, the local fruit is mostly sprayed. Oh, gotcha. Okay, I get you 100%. So if it's mostly sprayed, then obviously go for organic. Yeah. And tell them. I mean, I tell the people like, hey, you don't need to be spraying this. You don't need to be spraying this. And even a couple of little strawberry farms and local people have changed their ways. So it's real. Yeah. Yeah, Jambo, you got IBS for sure, bro. You need to get rid of the meat and dairy. I was right there when I was 13 years old. This is where it started for me. I was diagnosed when I was 16. You definitely have IBS. I'm not going to turn this whole video into like a health coaching consultation for you, but if you want, my services anytime, check it out. theinfinitecup.com. That's where we can really help you out, brother. If your hair is getting thin, oh man, okay, yeah, I would check out the website if you want a little health coaching advice from me. Other than that, we're going to stick to the topic of fruit because that's what you need, brother. You need some fruit in your life. I don't even think the shop has seeded fruit. Everything is seedless. Eileen, that's the most common thing. So seeded all the way, organic all the way. Ask questions. If you have to ship it in, if you have to order it, I would do it, but I would highly suggest you just asking people that grow your food. Go to the farmer's market, get to the local international store, get out of that, regular system. Yeah, Harley Tin Man. Yeah, the plant-based meats. I hear you. Alison likes a plant-based burger or a little thing every once in a while. When we do that, it's definitely not good for the stomach. So, I would not. I wouldn't be on that food at all. And if you have to do it, it's all good. I'm just telling you, it's like what I call transitional food, right? Getting past that into just whole, ripe fruits and vegetables. I love making curry. We had an amazing curry, little stews, little things. I mean, just throw all those vegetables into a pot, get it going, eat them. Make sure you're getting this in a very whole food form. That is the best way. Good. Use your shower filter. Good. This is the conscious community that I'm talking about. This is what I love. You guys already know what I'm talking about here. Get rid of the fluoride in your house. Get rid of all of that stuff. Yeah, exactly. Like Tofurkey, Morningstar. Yep. I wouldn't mess with that stuff unless you really, really needed it, And like I said, it's because of the emotions. We're used to eating sandwiches and blah, blah, blah. It's all good. It's definitely better than eating, animals. It's just slowly transition yourself, like butternut squash. Okay. That's a great example. You can get a butternut squash and cut that nice and thin, roast it up, do whatever you need to do, and use that. See what I mean? That's a great example. That could be your whole burger patty. I made Alison this great burger the other night that was just butternut squash. See what I mean? You can use that and still get that kind of like emotional craving that you're used to, because you're still like biting into this, burger form, and it's just butternut squash. It's all one ingredient. So huge. Charla, welcome. Welcome. It's all good. Better late than never. Seeded bananas from seedless bananas taste really different. I just found the seeded ones were delicious. Yes. Only seeded all the way. Seriously. Came in here late, addressed this. How much fruit a day, types of fruit, melons versus citrus, etc. Okay, so what we need to talk about with fruit is specific combinations. Okay, so for example, melons, you got to eat them alone. Only alone. I wouldn't mix anything else. I wouldn't eat any melon with any other thing. That's it. Same with citrus and all your astringent fruits. I don't really blend or mix that together. The only thing I blend is the sub-acid, like when you get into the, like bananas and things like that, things that are not in the astringent quality. Those you can blend up with other things, no problem, and you're going to be good. The problem is a lot of people are doing bad food combining. So the amount, you need a lot of calories. That's the biggest thing when people are transitioning to this, that are experiencing weight loss and side effects that they don't want. It's, you need to have a lot of calories from this. So when I sit down with my friend, I eat that whole cantaloupe, I'll eat that whole watermelon, boom, right there in one sitting, It's hard to have some fruit or, to save it, honestly. So it's huge. Yes, exactly. Heard about the melon, citrus, and melons give me bellyache sometimes. Yeah, so you got to eat them whole. It's all, it's called mono meals. Okay. You need to eat them whole. That will help you. What you're experiencing with the bellyache is the acid. Okay. Your body's in a state of acidosis, and it really needs to be flushed out. Okay. So in the beginning, it's going to be uncomfortable, especially if you have a history of any, anything in the gut or stomach issues, imbalances, etc. So this is huge. And meal combinations, seriously, meal placement is the next thing. Making sure, you're properly spacing your meals out. For me, it's 4 to 6 hours. I don't eat, I'm not a big snacker. I don't do things because I want to make sure my food is completely digested and assimilated before I have my next meal, right? If you got a bunch of food sitting in your stomach, even if it's fruit, and then you go on to the next meal, all of that is going to sit there and churn inside your gut, and it's going to, produce a lot of imbalances, right? It's going to create chemical reactions that are not healthy for us. So Corbin, talking about a glass of water. Yeah, that'll help too. That will really help. I occasionally put water out in the sun and drink it as well. Solar water. That's cool. Solar water is great. I love that. That's a great idea. Water is naturally purified from the sun, so I'm glad you're tapping into that. That is a great suggestion there. I really like that. Melons and citrus. Okay, so the highest quality too is going to be the astringent fruits, as far as detox, as far as getting that through the system and really detoxifying our cells. The sub-acid fruits, sweet fruits, dates, those things are going to help, but at the end of the day, the detoxing comes from the astringent fruits, the grapes, berries, melons. These things are extremely astringent, and they pull from the body, right? They break down mucoid plaque and they pull out toxins. So if you're doing that, yeah, that's a really good point. Siobhan Mulvey, unripe fruit can really hurt your gut and give you stomachache. That is very common. So unripe fruit is probably creating a lot of that indigestion and a lot of those problems that you're experiencing right now. So I think it's important to get on the real tree ripened fruit. If it's not ripe at all, don't eat it. Seriously, don't, just leave it alone. Don't even buy it, whatever that situation might be. It has to be attractive. I tell people, it has to have the sun in it. It'll have that golden color, that golden ripeness. It'll be soft and juicy. And it's, like I said, you're not going to find that at the store. So good question. Well, what's the tiny bananas? I have this red-orange kind of color. They are seeded. I can't find them in none of the grocery stores. I sure miss them, though. Yeah, Tin Man. So those are the burro bananas or the apple bananas. I'm a big fan of the apple bananas. That's all I eat here in Hawaii. The tiny bananas, those are really, really small, seeded, absolutely delicious. Big difference between the Cavendish banana. The red burro banana is like kind of the wider. They're still short compared to a Cavendish banana, but they're kind of wide. So we need to have real fruit that is straight from nature. So that's a good point. Corbin, what about prebiotic kombucha types of drink for belly, bada? I'm not a fan. I went through a big kombucha phase and it's all good. It's going to help you a little bit, but it's not all the hype that people, talk it up to. It's all good to have some kombucha every once in a while or something, but if people are basically addicted to the sugar and the bubbly and all that stuff, it's not good for you. It's something that creates a lot of imbalances in the stomach and GI tract. So I would just be... Jambi is cracking me up in this chat room right now. This is hilarious. I've seen tiny ones interesting produce to Asian markets. Yes, Charla, you are right. 100% correct there. You need to get to the Asian market, get to the international grocery stores, start diversifying your food groups, start getting into the real food. A lot of the, Filipino, Asian people, they know how to grow food and they're using real seeds and they're not contaminated and they're not in this, GMO monocrop world. So that is huge. And thank you for, bringing that up because a lot of the things that I used to do in California and the mainland is shopping at the international markets. I get coconuts there, get things really cheap. I even order by the case. Yep, exactly. Cheaper produce. It's the way to go. It's definitely the way to go. They have a lot of green varieties, a lot of bok choy, Mizuna, different greens, Asian greens, Japanese greens that you've never even seen before too. That's what we need. Diversify your food. Get away from the iceberg lettuce. You know what I'm saying? Get away from all that stuff and start incorporating a lot of real food into your diet, high vibrational food. They have fruits that you've never even seen before, things that are in season that they're growing in their backyard, These people are completely in tune with their nature, with their genetics, with their ancestors, something that was completely lost in our modern world. So it is really bad. I love it. I love the awakening in the chat room right now. It's all for love. It's all amazing. This is really, really fun, guys. I just love the chat room and chatting with you guys. This is good stuff. Yes, still here, Sandra. Still here. I'm going to be on for a couple more minutes. We got to seize the day. I got to go to the mailbox and everything. Shout out to all my Patreon members real quick. I just have to give you guys a real shout out. We've had, I think, Richie, Brian. I think you guys have been in the chat room here. If you're still here, shout out to you guys. If anybody's interested to taking this to the next level, join my Patreon group, join the Inner Circle group. We meet up once a month. I do online coaching for $89 an hour, so it's kind of pricey for people, and that's why I started the Inner Circle group, to be able to offer as many ways to be of service to you. So I really appreciate, if my content has ever affected you, if you've ever resonated with my content, consider donating on the Patreon page. Even $1 a month really goes a long way. This is how you can join this inner circle, this high vibe tribe. I have exclusive content. You watch all my YouTube videos. I have a signed copy of my book, The Real Yoga, that is going to go out to you as well if you join the Inner Circle group. Brian, just giving you a shout out. Just wanted to say shout out for being a part of the Patreon circle, because this is something, when you join the Inner Circle group, that this is just the best way to have access to my time and everything that I do. So just wanted to say thank you for being there. Thank you for being a part of the change. Thank you for having such an amazing impact, because I wouldn't be here without you guys, and I just want to connect with you all. And Brian, the book is on the way right now to you. I just sent it out 2 days ago, so it should be in your mailbox any day now. And just thank you. Like I said, that's sincere gratitude, because all this stuff is, new for a lot of people, and I've been doing this for a long time. So I want to, basically just give you guys more information and give you more of my time in the Patreon circle. So you guys can ask me questions directly. I give you a video response. I'm doing everything on my Patreon page. So that's patreon.com/theinfinitecup. And, I spelled it wrong. 1 second. / the infinite cup. There it is, right there. Really excited to have you guys, and just thank you for being the change. Like I said, this is huge. This is happening right now. This great awakening is happening right now. So thank you all for being here. If you've ever resonated with my content, consider joining the Patreon page. There's $1, $5, $10, and $20 a month sign up options there, with each have their own unique abilities, like attributes to what you get. The best by far bang for your buck is the $20 a month, because you get a signed copy of my book. That's like $15 right there plus shipping. So it's like you get a signed copy of the book, you get my access to all of my coaching. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Micah Smoot just had a $10 donation. I really appreciate that, because I'm doing this, guys, for you. You know, this is what I do. Let me just give you a shout out. Oh man, that just made my day right there. Thank you so much. I do this all for you guys. I'm putting my time into, putting out this content, and this is my full-time gig. So thank you. And I would not be here without your support. So this is the best way to create that high vibration and to get everything. That's cool. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I'm thinking about it, Charla. I'm thinking about some different things to help. I'm working with a company actually right now here on Maui that has bamboo straws and fun stuff. They're sending me a little gift pack right now. So that's the thing, is you get discounts, special discount offers. I just threw out for Patreon members only a 20% off discount code for all of my merchandise. So the book is about yoga. And it is about the real yoga. I'm a yoga teacher, certified Raja yoga instructor, and it's about meditation, how to really get a home practice. So check that out on Amazon. That is available. It's called The Real Yoga. Great book, and I put 2 years into that book, and it's something that I'm really proud of. So Charlie, I love your ideas. Like I said, I'm going to be putting out some more content. I do a lot of special discount offers to my Patreon members, so I have a 20% off code in the all the merchandise and everything. That goes really far right there. And just special things that come up. I want to offer you guys discounts and certain things. We talked about Ormus the other day. That video, there's an 11% off all Now Alchemy Ormus products. I'm just constantly trying to help you guys out and get more information, because I'm using myself as a guinea pig. I've been using these products every day for a long time. I wouldn't talk about these products unless I used them, unless they were beneficial. So it's just important to, offer help wherever I can. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for being a part of the change. And until next time, much love.